CEO of Indico Data. Come on stage, Tom. Over to you.
Excellent. Thank you, Laura. Thanks for including us in such a terrific event. Fun fact, Laura and I both came up with Rush as our walk-on music, unbeknownst to each other, so a good meeting of the minds there. I wanted to spend the next 8 minutes talking to you about the decision era. And just picking up on where Peter left off, the decision era for us is really defined by this incredible growth in data, cloud, AI, and setting the stage for unprecedented ability to make decisions at scale, at high fidelity, and just really transforming the business. And when you think about it, insurance really is in the business of decisions. Should I underwrite this risk? Should I adjudicate this claim? And decisioning becomes really the core competitive advantage going forward. I want to share some learnings that we've had in the field deploying our agentic workflows and what we've seen to be very effective in this case. And I'll build on our Rush theme here with our friend Tom Sawyer. He knows changes aren't permanent, but change is. And that was certainly the theme of what Peter talked about a few moments ago. The first learning that we've had is that prior, machine learning was all about training, right? Do I have enough training data? Can I train my data? Can I train these models? With agentic AI and with large language models now, it's really about testing. Testing becomes much more important. These LLMs are so large that the training data is much less important than actually testing and knowing that your prompts and your agents and your workflows are actually delivering what you think they are and doing it without bias and doing it reliably. The second is that technology has become commoditized. It is ubiquitous. 20-year-olds have access to the same technology that a $20 billion insurer does. What differs now is context. The context you bring to the problem is the most important thing to solving that problem and to creating advantage, both for you as a carrier, for any of your vendor partners. Being opinionated about the problem you're solving turns out to be really, really important. Third, we've seen that focusing on efficiency too much is probably too short-sighted, meaning if it costs me $14 to assess this broker submission, I'd be happy if I could do it for 12. That's good in the short term, but I think you have to think bigger. What other data assets am I creating by applying agentic AI? What gross written premiums can I drive? So getting trapped in efficiency is a little bit myopic. And then third, I like to say lowercase d decisioning trumps capital D decisioning, at least for the near term. Look at your processes and try to automate piece parts of those that can be done reliably, transparently. Don't focus on trying to automate the big thing. We may get there at some point in the future, but walk before you run. These are some key learnings that we've had in deploying these technologies. Next, we like to call this the race to the starting line. And I stole this from a friend of mine who said this, and I just loved it, who's over at the Travelers. He said that the emphasis now is getting your data ready to take advantage of all these technologies and capabilities that are coming out. And so race to the starting line, unstructured data, structured data, and semi-structured data are really critical mentality. Next, the mindset here. Think about your decisions as a supply chain. The same way that the iPhone in your pocket, they know everything there is about the raw materials, the way it was constructed, where it came from, the labor that was used. They need that for compliance, for quality, etc. Think about your decisions the same way. All the steps that go into your decisions are kind of like a supply chain. And importantly, your ability to trap that, explain it, is critical for audit and compliance going forward. That was asked earlier during the Q&A session. So we built what we call the decision automation platform, and it really has two main components. Laura showed through the demo intelligent intake, which is, we like to say, better data. So better data is that race to the starting line, getting your data in position so you can apply these technologies and accelerate your decisioning. And the other half of our platform is better decisions. This is intelligent insights. This is agentic AI to drive things like underwriting, submission performance, claim submission performance, etc. I'll take you through a quick demo here just for a couple minutes. So what we've done is we've built hundreds and hundreds of these agents in our agent gallery. And you can see here on the screen a sample of this gallery. So I can search this by agent type, extraction, classification, augmentation, validation. And you can see that I can open up any one of these agents and see what it's been trained to do. In this case, it's an extractive agent. You can also build custom agents in the Agent Studio. So I could create an agent here on the screen, name it, and I'm going to decide that I'm going to build an extractive agent similar to what we just did. But importantly, I can do this, I can train this agent to extract schematic data that precisely maps to the downstream system I'm going to feed it to. So it could be anything, from Policy Center, Claim Center, or other third-party or first-party systems. So I can build my schema, and it automatically creates a prompt to extract that attribute. I can pick from a list of fields that have already been sort of built and perfected in Agent Studio here. So I'm building this Agent Studio from scratch, this agent from scratch here. And once I'm done with that, I'm able to drop that right onto my agent workflow. So you can see here, this is our agentic canvas. This is a simple one. We've got 2 agents here loaded onto the canvas. And now when a submission comes through, it's going to be processed by that agentic workflow. Example here would be an underwriting submission comes into the corporate inbox. I move it into the Indico inbox here. It processes that submission, structured and unstructured data, renders this summary, and emails it back. If I want to now drill into this and look at it, you saw this a little bit in Laura's demo, I can see the extracted elements on the screen. I can go through the pages. I've got my little color-coded chiclets there. I can see the extracted data, and you can see the elements on the right-hand side there. I can easily correct those or validate those. You can also build summarization agents, and you can see here that this submission has also been summarized using that summarization tab. And when I'm done and I'm happy with it, I click Submit, it pushes it into Policy Center, and then I go back to my submission list, and off I go. We've seen really strong results from this, right? So we focus, going back to my point about being very opinionated, we are very, very focused on the P&C space. We've built our platform to understand P&C, and those are the kind of customers that we've attracted. And we've driven huge reduction in processing time, faster speed to quote, faster speed to claims adjudication, and massive increase in capacity. The thing that I hear again and again is not so much that customers want to reduce headcount. They want to do more with the headcount they have. Underwriters, as an example, are in precious supply. Increasing their capacity by 25% is a massive win. And there's many use cases for agentic automation. Underwriting submission and triage I talked about, claims intake and ethanol, broker payment reconciliation, bordereau processing. These are really, really complex, challenging problems in the insurance industry. And using agentic AI to drive this decisioning is a huge opportunity. And then lastly, and very importantly, we have a deep relationship with Guidewire. You can find our accelerators in the Guidewire marketplace, and we are rapidly upskilling the field to understand how to use Indico solutions in conjunction with your Guidewire deployment. So great, thank you very much.